I read it 100 times or so, backwards and forwards, down and up to both the ends of a telescope. I printed it all to the very last word. But by the mercy of the Lord, the darkness of my mind was red, and I seen the right eyes foul intent. To show you for such as a donkey button, I printed the poems of Mountain Mutton and a play he wrote. You've read it, I'm sure, where they speak of bastard and bummer and whore, and a play on the word and holy Paul and some woman's legs will can't recall. Written be mirror, a genuine gent that lives on his properties 10%. I printed the came of beautiful cousins, though ask your pardon as the verse, it'll give you a heart one on your arse. I printed folklore from north and south, big Gregory and a golden mountain. I printed poems, sad, silly and solemn. I printed poetry, what do you call them? I printed a great John Millicent sing, who soars above an angel's wing in the playboy shifty piece of swag from Malta's manager's travelling bag. But I draw the line at that bloody fella that was over here, dressed in Austrian yellow, and spouting Italian video to O'Leary, Curtis and John Wise power, and writing of Dublin, dirty and dear, in a manner no black of your prison could bear. Shite and onions! Do you think I'll print the name of the Wellington Monument City Parade in a Sanibel tram? Jones's cakes and Wilms's jam? I'm damned if I will. I'm damned to blazes. Talk about Irish names of places. The wonder to me upon me only forgot to mention Curly's Hole, which, ladies and gentlemen, you will no doubt be relieved to learn is, despite the surrounding scatology of the verse, a geographical and not an anatomical location. Curly's Hole, in fact, is a small bathing place on the north side of Dublin, on the Bull Island, known and beloved of the late James Joyce and myself. Now, I apostrophized you in my opening as ladies and gents. And of course, such you are. What else would I expect in this wonderful Pavilion theatre in Laoghaire to an audience of sophisticates, of Joyceans out here to celebrate Bloomsday? So there you sat, manfully, or should I say, cussfully in these politically correct days. Hardly Twitter, although I did notice one or two eyeballs rolling in the general direction of the carefully announced emergency exits, as if perhaps there was a faint tremor of fear that you might be bitten in the leg by an obviously rabid senator. You know, we hardly ever connect James Joyce with poetry, or if we do, it's with the delicate 90-ish cadences of those two slim volumes, Poems, Penny Each, and Chamber Music. But James Joyce also wrote two far more characteristically Joycean, acerbic, biting pieces, the two broadsides, The Holy Office, and Gas from a Burner. And it's from the first of these, Gas from a Burner, that I take my opening here this afternoon with you. Even the title is Joyce to me. Gas from a Burner. How it evokes all our sentimental affection for the dear dead days gone beyond recall, the glimmer lamps, the bracket lights in the Phoenix Park, gas fittings, beautiful wrought iron, and so on and so forth, and also perhaps to those of you of a certain age, 11:30 a.m. in a Dublin boozer, when the lights are indeed getting low, the braces emerge, and someone is sure to strike up with ring-a-ring-a-rosy. Dublin in our rare old time. Well, that's an element, but typical of Joyce. Underneath that is a more corrosive meaning, from the Dublin argot, from slang. Gas, in the sense of guff, hypocrisy, evasion of the reality, affectation by a real burn, a destroyer, an iconoclast, or really a character forged out of the actual lives of two real Dublin people, the printer John Faulkner and the publisher George Roberts. Now, will I hope allow me on this Bloomsday one little digression, for we are indeed a nation of digressions. Did we not give to the world Tristram Shandy by Lawrence Sterne, in which not only is it replete with digressions, but he even goes so far as to write an entire chapter entitled A Digression Upon Digression. I will permit myself no such baroque luxury today, particularly since this is a shortened and concentrated version of the show, but I will allow myself one digression on the subject of George Roberts, publisher. About 20 or 25 years ago, I unearthed in the bosom of the dungeons BBC in London a wonderful recording of one of the series of literary portraits put out by the BBC under the general editorship of a Northern Ireland poet. And in this, one of them was devoted to Joyce. It was put out in 1951 to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the death of the Irish writer David Joyce. And being BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, I think the title was carefully and aptly chosen. They were indeed celebrating the 10th anniversary of the death of the Irish writer David Joyce. And in that broadcast, amid all the wonderful concourse of voices, there was Oliver Gogarty, the original of Mulligan in Ulysses, Joyce's brother Stannis, two of his sisters. There buried was the voice of George Roberts. Bertie Rogers asked him the apparently innocuous question, Mr. Roberts, do you remember a young writer, James Joyce, about 1904, coming to you with the project of a book of short stories called Dubliners? And Roberts, who was from Ulster, replied, remember James Joyce, and didn't I do, sure why wouldn't I? Wasn't he forever on the scrounge looking for money? Well, I remember your friend Mr. Joyce one day in 1904, I think it was, you were right. Coming around on the usual errand, looking for the lender £2, and he going off foreign with some woman. When I lent him £4, and I thought 'twould be cheaper the price to be shut up. Which I think you agree, ladies and gentlemen, is a rather odd attitude on part of the publishers of the greatest name ever to have dropped off the end of a publisher's list. There is a little codin to this story. I brought back my prize from London, and I went down that very afternoon to Henry Street to Arnott's store, where I bought myself a wonderful pair of brand new brown shoes for the wonderful price of 37 shillings and 6. Bloody fool that I am! I left the boots and the tape on the back seat of the motor car and went to bed. You can fill in the details yourself. Next morning I woke up, down I went, and there was the pavement slightly dusted with frosted glass from a broken fly window, and the tape of Joyce was gone forever. But the shoes were still there. And I thought to myself, what a wonderful civilized city in which to live. Even the thieves are little. They bring you up, they smash the window, they disdain the brown boots, and they go straight for Joyce. So, meanwhile, Joyce had written this little firecracker, and he sent it back to Dublin like a volley of Scud missiles to be delivered to unwilling recipients, like the poet W.B. Yeats sunk in the mist of the Celtic twilight, and as Joyce rechristened it in Finnegans Wake, the cultic toilette. And they were delivered by Joyce's brothers Charles and Stannis, and as they arrived at the home of the Joyces, young Stannis Joyce, gentleman of Cork, seized one of them mid-flight, screwed the monocle into his eye, and took one look and delivered himself to his judgment. My God, he said, that fellow's a cad. He's no son of mine. He's not a gentleman. And that initiated a whole course of literary criticism that persisted